Now at 5, a local police department says farewell to a canine officer. Plus, a Netflix episode will highlight a Joplin murder case.
1 week into December and the midterm elections are finally over. I'm Nicole D'Antonio on Capitol Hill with the impact of Raphael Warnock's win on the 118th Congress.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The South Coffeyville, Oklahoma Police Department today said its final goodbye to a canine officer. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. 7-year-old Taz was a drug dog and helped serve the community since 2018. His handler, Officer Sheldon Rivers, was there for his last ride. Taz was euthanized today for health reasons. The Coffeyville, Kansas, and Montgomery County Sheriff's Departments were also there to show their support.
He's a great dog. I've spent thousands and thousands of hours with this canine and been in situations with this canine that I wouldn't have wanted any other partner there with me.
Officers say they tried to spoil Taz the past couple of weeks with treats and his favorite ball. He was laid to rest in Nowata, Oklahoma. The number of pet scams has declined, but it's not all good news. According to the Better Business Bureau, the amount of money lost to those scams is increasing. Pet scam losses are expected to reach at least $2 million in North America. Consumers affected by a pet scam lost an average of $850 each year. BBB recommends going to local animal shelters and pet stores because you're able to actually see the pet before you purchase it. Netflix's newest season of its true crime drama show, I Am a Killer, features a Joplin man who was sentenced to first-degree murder. Gary Black was convicted in the fatal stabbing of Jason Johnson in 1998. Jason Johnson was not the only victim. A Joplin man wants to share his story of surviving Gary Black.
I mean, you have to, especially this day's age, that you got to pay attention to your surroundings. And you know, you can be paranoid, but you got to be realistic, you know.
Season 4 of I Am a Killer will premiere on December 21st. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another cloudy one for us today, and we do have rain, which is going to increase as we go through the evening hours. It's chilly, upper 40s to lower 50s right now in our southern counties, but look at the showers increasing, and this leading edge is really just sprinkles, but then it really starts to thicken up once you get into northeastern Oklahoma, really from Bartlesville just to the west of Bonita and just to the southwest of Grand Lake. So all this is going to roll in as we go through the evening into the overnight hours for us tonight. Some areas may see some heavy amounts of rain, but look at our chances really shoot up late this evening, lasting into the morning hours. A lot of clouds, showers picking up, overnight low only down to about 48. And we have numerous other systems lining up behind this. We're going to talk about it all here in just a bit.
The U.S. Supreme Court takes up a high-stakes case on voting laws involving how states draw up their legislative districts for Congress. The North Carolina majority Republican state legislature brought the case after it drew up a congressional map that was highly favorable to them and would have likely flipped a number of seats. Democrats challenged that, and the state Supreme Court, which has a majority of Democrats, threw out the GOP maps as illegal gerrymandering. Republicans are arguing that a provision of the U.S. Constitution gives state lawmakers almost total control of the times, places, and manner of congressional elections. Democrat Raphael Warnock has won the Georgia Senate runoff race against Republican Herschel Walker. Nicole D'Antonio has more from Capitol Hill with what the victory means for Democrats and Republicans moving forward.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer celebrated Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock's narrow victory over Republican challenger Herschel Walker. The win gives Democrats a bit of breathing room in the Senate.
51, a slim majority. That is great.
The Senate has been divided 50-50 for the past 2 years, making it harder for President Biden to get his legislation and judicial nominees through Congress. The new edge will give Democrats a majority in all Senate committees versus an even split. It also means Vice President Kamala Harris won't be needed for so many tie-breaking votes. And it dilutes the power of moderate Democratic senators who are often holdouts on key legislation.
Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are great members of our caucus. They're very valuable. They don't always agree with us on certain issues, but they are tremendous contributors to our caucus, and we'll continue to work with them.
Walker's loss is the latest in a string of blows for Senate Republicans, left asking what went wrong in their quest to flip the upper chamber from blue to red.
We got to look at everything that happened and evaluate it.
Republican senators refuse to blame the losses on former President Trump's hand-picked candidates, pointing to other issues like lacking a clear message and coming up short in early voting.
We were outmaneuvered in Arizona, Nevada, and Pennsylvania because they found movable voters and got them there to vote.
The GOP may have a better chance to win the Senate in 2024 when Democrats have to defend twice as many seats as Republicans. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Of those 34 seats up for re-election in 2024, Democrats will have to hold on to 23 seats to keep their majority. That includes the aforementioned Senators Manchin and Sinema, both of whom will face tough re-election battles. Just ahead, as influenza spreads around our nation, demand increases for antiviral medications, plus rising numbers of drug overdose cases among pregnant women. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, flu activity is high and continues to increase all across the country. The early intense flu season has increased demand for antiviral medications. Reporter Bradley Blackburn shows us how these antiviral medications can help if you're sick with the flu.
Flu cases are increasing around the country, with 47 states or jurisdictions reporting very high or high flu activity. That's driving up the demand for antiviral medications to treat the flu.
If you're somebody who's older, if you have underlying medical conditions, you really should consider getting a prescription for an antiviral drug if you get the flu. These drugs have been shown to reduce the duration of illness, but really importantly, to reduce your likelihood of ending up in the hospital or even dying.
Tamiflu is one of the most commonly prescribed antivirals. The pill or liquid is taken for 5 days. The newest antiviral, Xofluza, is a single dose. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounders says start the course as soon as possible for the biggest benefits, usually within about 2 days of getting sick.
If you stop too soon, you can have a rebound of the virus, you can have a rebound of symptoms, and so it's really important to complete that course. If you don't complete the course, you're also at more risk for the virus developing resistance.
Side effects can vary. Nausea and vomiting are the most common with Tamiflu. Diarrhea is most common with Xofluza.
You can get side effects with really any medication, and sometimes those can be allergic reactions, a rash, sometimes that can be GI upset. But what's really important to understand is these side effects are rare, they're mild.
And with COVID-19 cases on the rise, antiviral medications like Paxlovid can help people at high risk of developing severe illness. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Flu hospitalizations almost doubled this week compared to last week. The overall hospitalization rate is the highest since the 2010-2011 flu season. Drug overdoses among pregnant and postpartum women are up more than 180% in the past 5 years. A study at Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health found the number of pregnancy-associated overdose deaths reached a record high in 2020, with fentanyl-involved deaths nearly doubling that year. Researchers say social, economic, and healthcare disruptions during the pandemic likely worsened the situation. Certain patient characteristics like being female, having mental health issues, and asthma are associated with a higher likelihood of long COVID. That's according to an analysis in the Journal of Internal Medicine, which found a spike in outpatient care for those individuals for 1 year after infection. And maintaining a healthy lifestyle is good for your gut. A large international study looked at various lifestyle factors and found healthy, non-smoking regimens that include diet and exercise could have prevented 61% of Crohn's disease cases and 42% of ulcerative colitis cases. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to tell you what that scratching leg on your dog means.
Plus, rain really increasing throughout the evening hours. We're going to look at that coming up. Another gloomy one for us today. We just haven't seen much in the way of sunshine in quite some time, and we're just not going to see much of it as we go through the next few days. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. And we are going to get some rain rolling in. So far, we haven't had any rain, but we need the rain. We average about 48, 49 inches each year, so we're still well behind, still about over 3 inches behind rainfall wise. But look at it increasing down through north central Oklahoma and then pushing into northeastern Oklahoma, and eventually it'll take over the region. Most of this leading edge is just very light sprinkles. The more persistent rain is still back to our south and to our west, but it will start to work back in. So we do have sprinkles, Cherokee County, Labette County, Montgomery County. A little bit heavier once you get down toward Bartlesville, just to the west of Nowata, and then it will start to overtake Ottawa County as we go through the next few hours. So we do need the rain. All this moisture is going to stream toward us right along and south of the I-44 corridor as we go through the evening hours. So rain starting to pick up, temperatures holding pretty steady into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Look at these rain chances shooting up. So here's 7 p.m., 9 p.m. You can see our best chances 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., and then they start to taper off as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at 10:30. Rain across the region. Northern counties, you are still just mainly cloudy. Periods of light to moderate rain continue to spread in through the overnight hours. Here's 2:30 in the morning. Finally, our northern counties starting to get some light rain where you see the yellows. That is kind of moderate rain. So this is our heaviest batch of rain into the morning hours. Here's 6 a.m. After 6 a.m., the heaviest rain is out of here. And then as we go through the morning into the afternoon, we just kind of have these hit and miss showers, especially on the Kansas side, and then working into southwestern Missouri as we go into tomorrow evening. Not much south of I-44. And then it looks like most of this action will be out of here after 9 or 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. Here's 11 p.m., still some isolated showers. And then skies actually clear out a little bit by the time we head into Friday morning. How much rain are we going to get? Farther north you live, the less you're going to get. Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, Fort Scott. This is our pattern this year. We keep seeing this along and south of I-44. We're going to continue to see this through the winter into the spring. Now, once you get into Oklahoma, southwestern Missouri, into northwest Arkansas, a half an inch upwards to an inch will be possible. Here's your day planner. Rain in the morning, hit miss showers the rest of the day, high temp of 61. It does look dry right now. 7th and range line sitting at 50, northerly winds, light humidity is climbing, and you can see 40s, northern half, 50s in our southern half, but everybody's going to hover into the upper 40s. So once we get rid of this wave, look at this. Here's Friday night, Saturday's wave, Monday and Tuesday's wave, so it's continuing to line up back to the west, and that's something we'll have to watch as we have numerous rounds of rain over the next several days. All right, rain tonight, maybe a little bit of thunder. On and off showers tomorrow, high temp 61. A little bit of sun on Friday, 55. Morning rain Saturday. Sunday looks good. Showers Monday. Thunderstorms Tuesday. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe. May end with a little rain snow mix on Wednesday. So just a little bit of everything over the next week.
I guess so. Possible rain, snow mix, severe weather.
Yeah.
And a little bit of sunshine next year.
There you go.
Thanks, Ted. Coming up, a domestic solution to an international supply chain problem. First, though, we honor a local World War I veteran. Fort Scott, Kansas native William Scott served in the U.S. Army, stationed in France and in Germany. He received a Purple Heart, a Silver Star, and a Bronze Star. Sergeant William Scott is a four-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes. We have more than 3,000 of them in our database. You can look them up by town or by name or by unit. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's really simple. Just click on the link on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Topping today's Consumer Watch, former Theranos COO Rameswamy Balwani was sentenced today to almost 13 years in prison. Balwani was convicted of 2 counts of conspiracy, 10 counts of wire fraud through a multi-million-dollar scheme to defraud investors and patients via the failed blood testing company. The company founder, Elizabeth Holmes, was sentenced last month to a little more than 11 years in prison for her role in that scheme. The House Energy and Commerce Committee penned a letter to Live Nation asking the executive to provide a briefing on Ticketmaster's ticketing process for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. It's also requested that Live Nation provide a list of actions the company will take to ensure consumers will have better access to live entertainment in the future. Probe comes just weeks after Ticketmaster bungled the pre-sale ticketing for that tour. After supply chain issues overseas brought the sale of things like new cars to a near stop, a lot of American companies began to look for domestic solutions. Mark Phillips shows us one such company, a semiconductor chip manufacturer that's poised for global success.
Before the president even arrived, the announcement: the Taiwan Semiconductor Chip Manufacturing Company will more than triple in size, from $16 billion to a $40 billion investment in Phoenix.
For us in the state, what it means is we've moved up into top-tier players in technology companies.
By 2026, TSMC will produce 600,000 wafers, the foundation of all new technologies moving forward. Apple CEO Tim Cook says all of its chips will be produced at the Phoenix plant.
We are investing in a stronger, brighter future. We are planting a seed in the Arizona desert.
TSMC will produce the world's most advanced microchip here in Phoenix. It's also creating its own domestic supply chain. 158 companies are moving to Arizona with TSMC. ASU President Dr. Michael Crow says Phoenix is becoming the epicenter for microchip technology.
This is the new economy manifesting at super scales.
Over a 10-year period, TSMC will mean 20,000 construction jobs and 4,300 full-time high-paying jobs. What was once a patch of desert known as Biscuit Flats will mean almost $17 billion to the city's economy over the next 20 years.
I was worried we maybe sounded like cowboys with shooting ranges and Biscuit Flats, too much like the Wild Wild West for the most advanced semiconductor chips. But the good news is Phoenix sold itself.
Forbes has released its list of the world's 100 most powerful women. The European Commission's first ever female leader, Ursula von der Leyen, came in first this year for leading Europe through the pandemic, the war in Ukraine. Vice President Kamala Harris came in third. Oprah Winfrey ranked 24th. Our Pet Vet on Call is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a class action lawsuit filed against Apple. Then on KOAM News at 6, a homicide investigation out of Neosho County, Kansas. Stay with us. CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Now, we've all seen the reaction in dogs and they seem to love it. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call: why do dogs shake a leg when we scratch a particular spot?
That is an indicator for you that you have hit the spot. It's just like when someone's scratching our back. We tell them when they hit the spot that you want them to concentrate on. And if you watch your dog and you give them a back rub and scratch, you can see they obviously enjoy it. But when you hit the spot, that's when the leg gets going and that's where you need to stay.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question every Wednesday here at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this male Labrador Retriever puppy. His name is Bilbo. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we've chosen this male domestic medium hair cat, less than a year old. His name is Bonsai. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? There's probably a Bilbo or a Bonsai for you.
All right, rain's rolling in. Rain's going to increase as we go through the evening hours, overnight hours, and then on and off showers tomorrow.
See you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.